inflammation. We don't look at it as acidity. We don't look at it as a deficiency. So number one, we look at lifestyle changes when it comes to acidity. The gap between your meals is the most important lifestyle change. If you are keeping long gaps between your meals, you will be acidic. And let's understand why. It takes an average of 3.5 to 4.5 hours for the human body to break down a normal balanced meal, which means after 3.5 to 4 hours, when your body is expecting its next meal, if you're not eating at that time, automatically your body will still produce hydrochloric acid, which is the acid in your stomach used to digest and break down food. Now that acid is supposed to act upon food to digest it, but because you skipped your meal or because you're eating a meal later than usual, this acid has no food medium to break up on. So it starts eating and acting upon the inner mucosal linings of your stomach, causing an acid reflux where your body tries to reject the acid, the extra acid production, and that comes up right up your esophagus to your throat, and that's that bitter acidic taste that you feel in your mouth, or the burning sensation that you feel in your esophagus or your throat. That's detrimental because your esophagus has a very, very thin tissue, and over time acid starts making small holes in that, and then you have more issues. So the second sensation is bloating or flatulence, the byproduct of producing acid, and that acid acting on no food produces gas, which comes out and expresses itself in flatulence, which is the body's natural defense mechanism to remove gas, or bloating. And that bloating is nothing but an acidic medium. So when you skip meals or you leave long gaps between your meals, automatically you promote acidity within your system. The second tip, when you eat your food too fast, and I go on about the importance of chewing your food. You see, when you start chewing your food, you start producing saliva. Saliva contains amylase and lipase, which are two enzymes that start breaking down fat and carbohydrates in your mouth. So you see, digestion starts in your mouth of carbohydrates and fats. But when you eat too quickly and you swallow your food down because you're not mindfully chewing it, you send larger chunks of undigested food, which should have been pre-digested in your mouth, into your stomach. And now your stomach has to produce more volumes of acid to break down food, which should have been pre-digested in your mouth. So again, you have more acid than your body requires, you have bloating, you have flatulence, you have a weaker digestive system, and you probably have acid reflux again. So you eat slowly, you chew your food, and you start eradicating acidity yourself. And because you produce these large volumes of acid, you pop an antacid, which basically goes down and reduces that acidic level which your stomach actually needs to break down food into nutrients that then your cells have to absorb. So taking antacids also blocks the absorption of nutrients from the food that you eat into your cells. So you start getting malnourished because you pop antacids. And malnourishment is the number one cause of almost every disease that we have. So the third point that we have is the quality of food that you eat. You eat fruits, you eat vegetables, you eat rice, you eat your rotis, you eat your lentils, you eat your meats, all of that stuff in the right quantity and the right quality of it, your body produces exactly how much of acid it needs to break it down. The problem is when you consume foods which are not natural to the human body, junk food, processed food, foods rich in refined sugar, foods rich in trans fats and processed oils and refined oils, your body has to spend a lot of energy and produce a lot of acid to break down these wrong foods, which means automatically your wrong choices of foods are making you acidic. So I'm not here to tell you stop eating all of these wrong foods completely, but there has to be moderation, which means that brings me to my fourth point, which is overeating. If you want to eat the wrong foods, make sure, you know they're bad for you, okay? But do not overeat them, because either ways, eating the wrong foods is making your system produce more acid and use more digestive energy, which should be used for other functions in the body. So the least you can do is not overeat, including the right foods. Remember, your body only uses what it needs. Everything else will get stored as fat or will create some hormonal imbalance in the body. So do not overeat your food, and you will control the amount of acid that your body produces. Number 5, water. I keep on going on about the amount of water. Your body requires water. Your lymphatic system is 90% water. Your blood is 90% water. Your digestive fluids are 90% water. So even a 1% drop in your water intake will make your body more acidic. So sometimes before reaching out for that antacid, just make sure that you're having the right amount of water and you're giving your body the right medium it requires to balance your pH levels naturally. Oxygen. The more you breathe, the right amount of oxygen in your system naturally allows pH balance to happen in your system. So most of us today are shallow breathers. Right now, if you stop and observe your breathing, you're not breathing to your full capacity. So stop, pause, take a deep breath. Inhale, and now you flood your body, your digestive system, all your cells with the vital force, the life force, which is oxygen. We can live without food, we can live without water for a while, but we cannot live without oxygen for more than 4 minutes. And we deprive our body of that key vitamin, vitamin O, oxygen, which is required to balance your acidity levels, your alkaline levels, improve the digestion in your system, allow for absorption of nutrients from the food that you eat into the cells. Remember, it's not about what you eat, it's about how your body breaks down and absorbs what you eat. Absorption is everything. We have people eating organic salads and food every single day, and yet they suffer from deficiencies, and yet they're sick, because it's not about just what you eat, it's about how your body absorbs what you eat. And guess what? Proper absorption happens in an alkaline environment. You have to understand, if your body is acidic, your cells are anaerobic, which means your cells are unable to get all the oxygen it requires. And your cells require oxygen to absorb all of the nutrients from the food that you eat. And when your cells are aerobic, which means they allow oxygen to enter them, that's when your body is alkaline. So now, how do you make your system alkaline? Number one, you don't just eat alkaline foods. You first make lifestyle changes to allow your body to automatically and naturally balance your pH levels. So when you eat at the right time, that's another point. Try to eat at the same time every day. Try to have your breakfast at a fixed time, your lunch, your evening snack, and your dinner. Because like your muscles that have a memory, and like your cells that have a memory, your digestive system also has a memory and expects nutrition at a particular time. So always try to keep a rhythm in your day where you have your breakfast, lunch, evening snack, and dinner at the same time, so that you allow for the uniform production of acids in your body. So do we keep eating alkaline foods? No. Another reason why we're acidic is because we're depleted of digestive enzymes. You see, junk food, poor lifestyle, inadequate exercise, improper breathing is depleting us of digestive enzymes, which are supposed to break down food into your system. So when we're depleted of digestive enzymes, guess what happens? Our body has to produce more acid to break down food. Now, where do we get these digestive enzymes from? Our raw fruits, our raw vegetables, our raw nuts, our raw seeds. All of this gives you digestive enzymes that you require to break down food. And then you don't need so much of acid to break down food, which is why you should always have balanced nutrition. Your meal should have 50% or 60% of raw and the balance of cooked, because cooked food is dead food. It's devoid of digestive enzymes. So you want those digestive enzymes coming in from your fruits, your vegetables, your raw nuts, and your raw seeds. So when you make these lifestyle changes, I can promise you, I can guarantee you, you will eradicate acidity, which is the root cause of almost all problems, including migraines and headaches, including diabetes. Because again, when we look at diabetes today, everyone's just talking about insulin, GI, high carbohydrates foods, high protein foods, and all of that stuff. No one's looking at the health of your pancreas. Your pancreas is the organ that produces insulin. And so many people today suffer from pancreatitis. Okay, what is the blood test that we do to check the health of our pancreas? You do your serum lipase and your serum amylase. And if those levels are high, you have an issue of an inflamed pancreas, which means your diabetes is going to get worse if you don't sort the root cause, which is improving the health of your pancreas. And most pancreas get destroyed because the body is constantly acidic. Acidity eats into the cells of your pancreas and lessens their lifetime, lessens their ability to produce insulin. So you see, the root cause again is acidity. So you handle the root cause and you handle a multiple of problems that are caused by inflammation and acidity. So let me recap this before we sign off today. You can eradicate acidity. Now, there are many medications that you take which will cause acidity, and that's the reason why your doctors prescribe antacids. But still, You can get off those antacids if you make changes in your diet and you make changes in your lifestyle and you balance the side effects of the medication you're on, which is producing acidity, with natural ways, and you prevent further deterioration of your health. So eating raw vegetables like carrots, cucumbers, adding lemon into your water. Lemon may not suit everyone. It's highly acidic in its raw form, but it's highly alkaline when it mixes with your saliva and gets digested into your system. All your raw foods will make your system alkaline. The right amount of water, the right way of breathing, the right amount of oxygen, keeping the right gaps between your meals, trying to eat at the same time every single day, never overeating, and eating mindfully and chewing your food. If you make these changes, I can promise you your acidic levels will reduce. And the last point, do not eat a meal and go to sleep straight away, because your body will try to throw up that acid and you will have acid reflux. So keep that gap of 2 to 2.5 hours between your last meal and your bedtime, and never be in a slouched position post eating a meal, because you need to be in an upright position or a yogic position called Vajrasana, which improves your digestion and allows you to digest your food much, much quicker. Make these changes and I can guarantee you, you will solve your acidic issues. Remember, there's a quick fix for everyone and everyone can afford those quick fixes, but it comes with a cost, and that cost is usually your health. Have a good day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.